This is Woody from Obadiah's. We are going to do a comparison here between the Esse Ironheart, the Nordica Rosa, and the Kitchen Queen 380, which is burning and hot right now. So, starting with the Esse Ironheart. Now the Esse comes with grates. You can see there's one grate in there. And then there is what's called an extended wood box. The wood box drops it down. What is the depth to the floor?
All the way down here.
Yeah.
Depth's about 19 inches.
So with your extended wood box, you're down to close to 19 inches. So it makes it quite a bit bigger. So what's our oven size?
17.5 inches deep. 12 3/4 wide. And about 13.5 tall.
Okay. And there you have the Esse Ironheart. Next, we have the Nordica. And this is the Rosa, which has ceramic panels. And it's a little bit different of a style. As you can see, it's got glass door on the firebox, glass door on the oven. And it's a very pretty stove. But a little bit on the small side as far as the firebox. Oven is all porcelain. Only has one pan, it doesn't have grate. It's like a porcelain pan. So on the Esse Ironheart, it's not porcelain at all. Inside it's just raw steel. So the door is glass, so it's kind of nice. The latches and the hinges look well made. Overall fit finish on the stove looks very well made. It's made in Italy. It's not a third world country. It's not Serbia or something like that. So it's, you know, kind of the fit to finish, the quality of it is more on par with American standards, in my opinion, from what I'm looking at here. There's some parts that aren't put on yet. There's some side rails and some other dress-up parts that we'll put in. You want to open up the bottom doors. There seems to be a large clean-out area underneath the oven where you would clean out the creosote. There also appears to be a control in the door that I would assume would be how you would control the temperature of the oven by opening and closing that. Underneath the firebox is an ash drawer.
Maybe that's for emptying your ash.
Okay. I see. Let me shine my light in there. Okay, and then there's a pan drawer on the bottom.
Yep, on the bottom here. I'm going to keep everything centrally located.
That's very nice. Gives you a place to put stuff. And then up above we appear to have a clean out here. And it looks like a flapper here for the draft. And then this is a clean out that gets you down around the oven. Appears to be porcelain on the inside, stainless on the top. So I would say quality wise, I would give this a very high rating. There is also the ability to vent it out the back or the top. And you have this pretty slick deal. You have a cooktop. It's a cast iron cooktop, pretty heavy. Now if you have a small pan, you could put it in there for your hot plate. Bigger pan. bigger pan, and a bigger and a bigger and a bigger. Now the thing that you'll notice comparing to the Esse is you only have two small cooking surfaces for your hob on the Ironheart, which is fine if you don't need a lot of room. So now here we have the stove opened up so you can look inside. As you can see, the castings, the quality of the castings are superior. They're very nice. I would give them a for quality. Castings are important, and the quality of them, that's what takes the brunt of the heat. So this is a cast iron stove. So the part that's taking the most heat is all cast iron. The fact that it's ribbed helps dissipate the heat, and it helps absorb the heat, and it gives it rigidity and strength. Looking on top of the oven, it's porcelain on the back here, so it's finished. And then you have stainless steel. The side of the stove has ceramic panels, porcelain finish on them like a glaze. Very nice. They're available in different colors. Those porcelain panels hold the heat. But the fact that that's cast iron, what would you say that cooktop weighs, Levi?
I would say it's probably right around 25-30 pounds.
Okay. So that's nice. It makes it very easy to clean this stove. Overall, fit, finish, the milling of it looks good. The finish of it looks good. I would say this is a very high quality stove. What would you say?
Yeah, it's a very nice stove.
Okay.
Very, very much so. If you really look at all the handles and look at all the hardware, I mean, just the attention to detail. I mean, you can tell this is a quality product. It's been very well revised, revamped, run, everything. I mean, it's just all around. I mean, it's got extravagance written all over it.
I would tend to agree. The fact that it's stainless, the way it's built, that the inside of it's porcelain, not raw steel, less factor for corrosion. The oven itself is completely porcelain. The top, everything is porcelain. The only thing I would say that, you know, I'm not sure, I'm not a cook, but it would seem to me that having a rack would be maybe better than a pan to cook on, because then the heat moves around better. But I don't know. I wouldn't be a judge on that, so I'm definitely not a cooking expert. But overall, the quality of the stove is pretty good. Alright, next we're going to look at the Kitchen Queen. And this is a small version. This is the 380, not the 480. 480 is much larger. If you notice, the firebox in this stove is huge, folks. Absolutely huge. So compared to these other two stoves, much, much, much larger. You can get a lot of wood in there, and that lid on the top is a smoke thing. It actually will flip out of the way when you load the wood. So it's very much large. Go ahead and turn it. These are our glass doors that are on there that we manufacture. It's also got our heat shield on the side. This is a zero clearance installation with our heat shields on the back. Alright, you want to give me the review? You've been burning this now for about a month?
Yeah, I've been burning the stove for about a month. The thing I really like about the stove is that it's easy to use. I mean, this thing's easy to fire up. It's, you know, it's very straightforward. You have your draft down here on the bottom that's open, that's closed. You have your draft on your door, open and closed. If you have the optional doors, these of course are prototypes. And you know, I mean, it's just it's an overall just easy, user-friendly machine. I mean, I'm not familiar with cook stoves, and this thing has been nothing but a joy to work with. It's an excellent stove, and it will heat no problem. I mean, this cabinet, it keeps it nice and warm in here, so I'm very impressed with the stove. The stove is something that I would recommend to anybody that's getting into cook stoves. This would be definitely one that you would want to take a look at.
So what would you say the burn times are that you're getting with this stove?
If I load it up, you know, to the hilt, I'm getting I can kick this thing on at 9 o'clock at night, and I would say probably around 12 hours, because I can have anywhere from 12 to 14 hours of burn time, depending on how hot the stove is when I get it going to the time I shut it down, and how much wood I actually put in it. But these things are definitely, once again, not a stove expert, and the other thing is that it's hard to overfire these things. So I've had nothing but good luck with this thing. I mean, it's easy to use. It's very user friendly.
That's great. So would you say it's so hot it drives you out of here? I mean, can you control the stove? Or?
Yeah, you can control the stove. You can get it to where you can run yourself out of here, but really, if you get it up 500 degrees and shut it down, you're going to be right in about the ballpark of just keeping it nice and warm. Now, if you bring this thing up to 600, 700, 800 degrees and then shut it down and slowly let it burn, then you're going to have some problems sleeping with the blankets.
So, would you say it is, you have a lazy boy here, this is where you sit and you watch TV, there's a TV in this room, they're usually sitting right there. So you sit fairly close to the stove. My experience with radiant stoves is it probably wouldn't be very comfortable. You'd be sitting in your skivvies sweating to death. So you feel that you can notice the convection difference.
Absolutely.
Versus what you would normally experience with a wood stove.
Absolutely, yeah. This thing definitely has a heat output on it, and as I said before, if you get this thing up 400 or 500 degrees and shut it down, I can actually comfortably sit here in full clothing right next to the stove, especially with the actual hearth set up here fully. I mean, this thing takes a lot of heat, so I'm not having any problem really whatsoever when I'm sitting down working or watching TV or whatever it is I'm doing. And with the glass doors on this as well, I like to sit there and watch the fire. It's a relaxing deal. So other than that, I mean, it's a good stove. It's been, as I said before, nothing but user friendly. It's not a runaway stove. You won't just take off and start cranking out 1,000 degrees unless you tell it to.
So you're a Montana boy, right?
Absolutely.
So you grew up around wood stoves.
Yep.
Your whole life, so you do know a little bit about wood stoves.
Yep.
And you just spent some time in Alaska.
Yep.
So you understand cold, and you had a stove up there. So it's not like it's your first rodeo with a stove. It's just you're new with cook stoves.
Cook stoves.
There you have it, folks. Thank you.